And here's the last point, which I think needs to be made, is that this is a spiritual war. And you hear that thrown around. It's been thrown around for the last, 5 or 6 years as people are paying attention, have begun to realize there's no rational explanation for a lot of things that we're seeing. Transgenderism or the just love of abortion for its own sake. Like, what's that? Well, obviously it's human sacrifice. Like the Mayans and the Incas and the Canaanites and every other civilization. It's human sacrifice. You kill a human being to appease the gods and to get power for yourself. Like it's the oldest religious ritual there is. And we're just seeing its modern manifestation of it. So people are more familiar with this term spiritual war. But its manifestations are not always so obvious. But if you look back at various points in history, two things become really clear. One, underneath it all, it's aimed at Christians. It's aimed at sincere Christians. They are always the main victims. Everyone lies about it. No, the Bolshevik Revolution really wasn't about Christianity. Really? The French Revolution really was about Christianity. Why were they beheading nuns? Spanish Civil War, same thing. The Hungarian Soviet Republic of 1919 lasted 4.5 months. What's the first thing they did? Execute all the Christians, the clergy, of course. So the spiritual war can have a little finer point on it. It's Jesus who's like the center of this, actually. Prove me wrong. Ask an Armenian. So, okay, what do you do with that information? Well, first, just know it. If we go to war in Iraq on false pretenses, and the group that suffers more than any other group, disproportionately more than any group by far, turns out to be the Christians who weren't really raising arms against anybody, that kind of proves the point. If Syria goes upside down and the first people to get genocided are the Christians, if Christians in Bethlehem can't actually drive the 12 miles or whatever it is to the Church of the Holy Sepulchre in Jerusalem because who knows why, they're the target, of course. Why is Western Europe being destroyed? Why do you think? Because that's where Rome moved, obviously, because it's the seat of Christian civilization. Of course. So that's what's actually happening. And one of the things that you need in order to understand that and to fight against it is strong, consistent spiritual leadership. Not military leadership. You need that in another realm. But in the spiritual realm, you need strong spiritual leadership. And you'll notice when that leadership becomes completely corrupted, like truly corrupted, when the leaders of Christianity or parts of Christianity in the United States are not simply like wrong or flawed or off base, that's all of us, but are actively trying to lead people in the wrong direction,